NCAA basketball slam-jammed with color and excitement. Madness begins as top teams vie for conference during championship week. Then it's time for the big dance. 2 full days of first-round action of the NCAA tournament. And a great college basketball tradition comes to ESPN. The National Invitation Tournament. The color and excitement of March Madness stands out live on ESPN.
The grudge match of the year is coming. Arch rivals Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Hector Macho Camacho go head-to-head for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship. Plus a superstar undercard featuring heavyweight contender George Foreman. Mancini versus Camacho. 12 rounds of explosive action presented by Schlitz Malt Liquor. Top Event brings you there live at ringside. Monday, March 6th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Check your local listings for details.
Came upon the grandest canyon I ever did see. Our leader promptly named it Grand Canyon. Heck, my mule could have thought up a better name than that.
When something's spectacular, you don't need a spectacular name. So, at Hardee's, we call our burger the Big Deluxe. Thicker, juicier, more burger to win you over.
I would have named it the Amazingly Huge Hole.
The Big Deluxe. More burger, less name.
Have you seen Safeway's produce?
It's over your head, it's on every side. Mountains of veggies and fruit to the sky. Come take a look, come see the difference at Safeway.
Wherever you're shopping now, you haven't seen produce till you've seen the produce at Safeway. No store has more.
Go take a look, come see the difference at Safeway.
There are only 3 days left until the grudge match of the year. Ray Boom Boom Mancini versus Hector Macho Camacho. The WBO Junior Welterweight Championship. Plus a superstar undercard featuring heavyweight contender George Foreman. Mancini versus Camacho. 12 rounds of explosive action presented by Schlitz Malt Liquor. Monday, March 6th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Your cable system brings you there live at ringside.
And we're back live here on Home Team Sports. Exciting second period. The Caps outscoring the Penguins by a 3-1 margin. They lead 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. Welcome back, Jeff Rimmer with you, and it's our pleasure to welcome the Capitals' recently signed #1 draft choice. That announcement made on our Home Team Sports pregame show, the Merchants Tire Capitals Report, and Reggie Savage is with us. And Reggie, congratulations, officially part of the Capitals family, I guess, now that you've signed that contract, and you've got to be very, very excited.
Yeah, a lot. I've been waiting for that opportunities a long time, and just today and this morning, in fact, it's about 11:30. I signed my contract with Mr. David Paul office, and I was really excited and really glad.
Tell us a little bit about your thoughts of the hockey game tonight. Now you're here as a visitor. Soon, we hope, not too far down the road, you'll be wearing the Washington Capital uniform for good. But what's it like sitting here at the Capitol Center, a sellout crowd in a big game like the Penguins tonight?
Well, it's very different that in Montreal. In Montreal, the crowd is very quiet and everything, and here the fans are really wide and it's really up in the game, and that's good. It appears like that in the kind of crowd, and I'm just excited to. I want to be there and on the ice with the guy, and I can't wait to play with along with the Gardner and Scott Stevens, and to be the best I can be.
Of course, you coming from the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, specifically Victoriaville, a lot of talk back in the province of Quebec about Mario Lemieux. Are you paying particular attention to Lemieux tonight?
Yes, a lot. And as you can see, Mario is a great hockey player. And in my book, he's probably the second one behind Wayne Gretzky. And I watch him a lot tonight. He just stand in the blue line and try to keep quiet, and somebody try to forget him. And then, but Mario he's a great player, and then I try just to look to find some tricks, to can copy him.
Reggie, for the benefit of our Home Team Sports, the Washington Capital viewers, is there a player in the National Hockey League that you pattern yourself after? Is there a player that reminds you of yourself in the NHL?
Well, it's tough to say.
The style of play.
Well, the style is just maybe like a Steve Yzerman style. I'm not good at him, but because we probably have the same side and everything, so I probably like more that Yzerman style.
You're a goal scorer, 53 goals this season, playing for certainly one of the best goal scorers of all time, NHL history, in Gilbert Perreault. What's it like playing for a great hockey legend like Perreault?
Well, it's been great, and for a first-time experience being a coach for Gilbert, he's doing great for the kid and everything. He's talking a lot, he's trying to explain how he's going to work all the time, and because the guy played 17 years in Buffalo, so he knows his stuff, and I just respect him a lot, and it so helped me so far this year. It's been incredible, and I just thank him for everything he did to me.
Well, good luck again. Congratulations, and we wish you nothing but success to you in Victoriaville in the playoffs. Thank you. Reggie Savage, Caps #1 draft choice, officially signed today. 1 period left. Caps lead by 1.
I know Merchants Tire and Auto Centers have all the famous brand tires at guaranteed lowest prices, but I didn't know they do repairs, too. Everything from oil changes to tune-ups and brakes. And best of all, Merchants treats my car like it's their own. And only Merchants has these written guarantees. So I guess I go to Merchants because I trust them.
Service that you trust. Guaranteed.
Merchants Tire and Auto Centers.
In the Tidewater area, you know the Henry Johnson Tire and Auto Centers.
And in Durham, you know the Rigsby Tire and Auto Centers.
Well, they're all part of the Merchants Group.
Where you can get service that you trust. Guaranteed.
TWA kept something in mind when we made our 747 business class seat the widest in the sky. People sometimes cross their legs. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
I get paid to fly on TWA. I'm part of the new quality control team. I report directly to the chairman on what's good and what needs improving. When he's happy, you're happy.
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
An important message for you, Minikey. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. You fool.
Good news. I predict I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry. At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed.
This is what I've been saying, you idiot. I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler. It's better.
You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
Presenting a turning point in the history of screwdriving. The Black & Decker cordless screwdriver. A screwdriver so powerful it can drive 100 screws on a single charge. Any less, and it wouldn't be the Black & Decker cordless screwdriver.
Trustworthy saves you time and money. We're the problem solvers.
Check your yellow pages for the trustworthy hardware store nearest you. Friday, March 10th, catch a Big East tournament doubleheader when Home Team Sports presents games 1 and 2 of the Big East quarterfinals, noon and 2 p.m. on the home of college basketball. Home Team Sports.
It's the Capitals 3 and the Pittsburgh Penguins 2 after 40 minutes of play here on Home Team Sports. Mike Fornes and Al Koken welcoming you back once again to our live exclusive coverage. Well, that was the type of second period the Capitals needed, and that's the type they got. They forced their way around that goal area and did anything they could to get the puck in the net. That's what they're evidently going to have to do to beat Tom Barrasso.
Well, they certainly got a couple of breaks, and we'll show it to you when we illustrate a couple of the goals, but I'm sure the Capitals told themselves, look, we played a pretty strong first period. We were on top of them and dominating for many parts of that period. We made one breakdown. They burned us. Let's just get back there and do the things we did in the first period. They continued. They used their skating. They used their hitting. But this time they got the breaks, and it paid off for them. Let's start with by showing you the TWA shot chart for the Capitals. You see, again, they had some good pressure in front of Tom Barrasso. That certainly always is a key, but here come the breaks, but it's also a residue of hard work. This man who's been playing an outstanding game, Lou Francischetti, he's the guy who beats all the Penguins into the play. Now watch the way he will set up Doug Wickenheiser here as he comes around the net to set him up. But it's a play that bounces off Wickenheiser's skates and also off the skates in front of Paul Coffey. And keep an eye on how Peter Sundstrom comes into the play. Let's start it now and see how it develops. Wickenheiser stops, turns on the brakes because he sees Francischetti getting the puck. Now stop it right here. What happens is Francischetti is sent it out, and watch how the way this thing kisses off here. Hillier comes in this way. Peter Sundstrom comes in behind the play and pops in that loose puck. A good bounce, a good break, but a nice play by the Capitals as you've got people hustling to the puck and people jamming the front of the net. Big goal ties the game up at 1. Now let's show you the goal that Mike Gartner gets as we see the assist coming from Francis Skiddy on the Sunson goal. And you see it's kind of a similar play for the Capitals. Another good bounce to a guy. But again, it's basically some good, strong, hard work. Out of the play comes Jeff Courtnall. He's looking for this man in front, Doug Wickenheiser. As he sends it to him, in comes Troy Loney making a nice defensive play to block the pass. But watch how Mike Gartner here just comes in following the play and is able to get that loose puck and pop it in the net. The Capitals out hustling the Penguins again here. It looks like a great defensive play by Pittsburgh, but Mike Gartner burns them again, taking that bounce onto his stick, turning it into the forehand shot, beating Barrasso, who goes down. Now again, Tom Barrasso going down quite a bit tonight, and finally the Capitals were able to take advantage of that. There's another shot with Barrasso down, put it up over him. They've had a few other opportunities that they haven't been able to do. We'll see if that develops as the game goes on.
Don Beaupre had to clear a few pucks on his own, as we'll show you now the TWA shot chart for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I can remember one instance where he just slid right across and kind of kicked it out of there on his own after the Penguins penetrated, and they got a few chances from in close.
They did have better pressure from in close, and we talk about the breaks the Capitals get. Well, the Penguins get a break, too, because you rarely ever see this man, Bengt Gustafsson, make a mistake with the puck. Now, he'll come in, he'll try and make a little pivot move and then throw it over to Shea as he comes out here. But watch what happens. Start the play here. See, Gustafsson has it. Now, he's getting some forechecking pressure, so he stops and turns on the brakes. Now, stop it right here. See what happens? He goes a little too far on the slide, and as he's trying to throw it over here, he misfires on the puck, and it's lying right here. That allows Kevin Stevens to come in and beat Don Beaupre with a shot low to the glove hand side. Rarely we ever see that happen, and to the credit of the Penguins and to Stevens in particular, he made no mistake on it. See, Beaupre was not really settled. Kevin Stevens picking up the unassisted goal, his third of the season.
Well, the third period is coming up next. Do you look for Pittsburgh to try and set Mario loose as often as possible? I sure would.
I do, because they've done a pretty good job of keeping him quiet so far.
All right, right now we'd like you to stay tuned for the Kodak People's Drugstore flashback.
Kodak and People's Drugstores present Flashback. It's September 15th, 1987, and the Soviet Union and Canada are playing the third and deciding game of the Canada Cup in Hamilton, Ontario. The score is tied 5-5 with 1:26 to play when Wayne Gretzky feeds the Penguins Mario Lemieux with the game winner.
Lemieux ahead to Gretzky. Has Murphy with him on a 2-on-1 to Lemieux. And on goal. He shoots. He scores!
You know, thrifty cow rentals, thrifty price for everyone.
Well, Henry, this is a good deal. Sign it.
It's an offer you can't refuse.
Sign it.
Why don't you get a lodger car to entertain friends?
Now I'll sign it.
Rent a Dodge Dynasty from just $24.99 a day on weekends at any of the 24 thrifty metro area locations.
Go ahead, make my reservation. It's simple, call 1-800-for-cars.
If you're searching for great oldies on the radio, the search ends here.
Extra 104, now with 10 great oldies in a row.
Extra 104 is the only Washington radio station that gives you great oldies all the time. Great oldies from the 60s, back-to-back, non-stop. So, for your favorite oldies anytime, remember, set a button on your radio to 104.1 FM. Extra 104, great oldies all the time.
The best-selling retail wagon in America today isn't a Ford Taurus. It isn't a Volvo, an Audi, or a Toyota. It isn't a Mazda or a Nissan. It isn't a Chevy, a Dodge, or a Honda. In fact, it isn't any of them. It's a Subaru. That's because a Subaru wagon is built to hold something besides kids and groceries. It's value. Test drive one. Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car.
Home Team Sports coverage of Capitals hockey is brought to you by Capital Cadillac Company, home of the Capital Commitment, featuring lifetime lubrication, oil and filter change with the purchase of your new 1989 Cadillac. The Capitals and the Penguins get ready for the start of play during period number 3. Washington has outshot the Pittsburgh Penguins 25-16 and outscored them 3-2. And that third goal scored by Michael Pavanka is the first time in this game tonight that the Capitals have owned a lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And now they've got 1 minute and 58 seconds to go on their power play advantage to start this period. A chance to increase it to 2 goals and give the Capitals a little more breathing room, although it's kind of precarious lately when the Capitals go up by 2 or 3. But I think this is the type of game you want to get up by 2 and see if you've learned your lessons. Put a good team like Pittsburgh away. Even though most of the players you talk to say, the regular season doesn't mean much. Regular season series between the two clubs that they meet in the playoffs, it's a whole new season. I don't buy that all the way. There's got to be some feelings and got to be some good momentum built if you can hold off the Penguins here. Let's go downstairs now to check in with Jeff Rimmer. Thanks, Al. Well, we had a nice visit with Reggie Savage, the Capitals' #1 draft choice, and certainly a future Washington Capital, the #1 draft choice, officially signing earlier today. You saw it here on Home Team Sports, at least the announcement coming from Caps General Manager David Poile. And it's interesting to listen to Reggie Savage. We asked him the player in the National Hockey League that he styles himself after, and he selected Steve Yzerman, and he honestly says, hey, I'm not as good as Steve, but in style, very much like a Steve Yzerman. And I tell you, the Washington Capitals hope that he's every bit as good as the Detroit Red Wings' outstanding young hockey player, Steve Yzerman. 60 goals, #2 in the National Hockey League in goal scoring, 3rd overall in the National Hockey League scoring race, and I tell you, still one of the underrated players in all of the NHL. Third period action ahead, a great hockey game, and to bring you the play-by-play, Mike Fornes and Al Koken. All right, thank you, Jeff. Well, certainly the Detroit Red Wings wanted Reggie Savage. They were all ready to draft him before the Capitals leaped in and picked him up.
A couple of scoring changes here as we start the third period. Doug Wickenheiser gets an assist on the Sundstrom goal. Sundstrom from Francis Getty and Wickenheiser at 3:25. And then on the last scoring play, Pavanka's fourth, it's Ridley and Miller assisting at 13:28. So take away Stevens and put in Miller on the Pavanka goal. Power play hockey as Courtnall sets it up. At the point, here's Larry Murphy. Along the boards for Courtnall, play broken up, and the Penguins clear the zone. Here comes Lemieux, short-handed in on Stevens. Stevens takes the man, and Murphy gets the puck. Perfectly executed defensive play. Now it goes to the corner. Scott Stevens is back to get it. Right wing pass. Off the stick of Dale Hunter, and the Capitals are offside. And the faceoff will come back now into the Washington zone with 1:05 left in the penalty call to Hillier, and 19 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here in the third period of this game. Talked about that season series, Al. It's certainly favoring the Penguins this year with 4 Pittsburgh victories and only 1 for Washington. The 1 Washington victory the last time they met, an 8-0 decision here at the Capitol Center. Remember not too long ago, just a couple years ago, when the Capitals had such a decided long string going against Pittsburgh? Sure changed since the Penguins broke that streak. Pittsburgh has won 9 games, lost 2, and tied 1 out of the last 12 against the Washington Capitals. The numbers have a way of coming back at you, don't they, over a period of time?
Certainly do. Now the Penguins feel very confident coming into this building, much in the fashion of New Jersey. They hadn't won for all those years. Now they come in there and they play much better in this building now after they finally broke the ice.
Gustafson on the seat of his pants plays the puck up the board. Scott Stevens has it. Back to Bengt Gustafson. Now at the point, Scott Stevens, a drive blocked by Barrasso, and he uses that as a pass to get it ahead to Troy Loney. Still 30 seconds left in the Washington power play. Here's Scott Stevens. Up ahead to Bengt Gustafson. Works to center ice, and Ridley takes it across the line. Chopped by Troy Loney back to center, and now Felix has it over to Stevens. Slaps it into the Penguin zone. Felix back at the point. Sends it high in the air and against the boards where Christian can't keep it in. As it comes out of the zone and he does toss it across, it's offside with just 1 second left. So Hillier will be coming out of the box just as soon as they drop the puck for the faceoff.
The hottest of all the Washington Capitals over the past 2 weeks. His career high right now in points, career high in goals scored. Mike Ridley's been a key factor, as you pointed out earlier, in his scoring against his Pittsburgh team, but he looked a little frustrated with power play. Very difficult, though. You know, you talk about a chance to jump ahead by 2 goals if you can break loose early in the period. Sometimes it's kind of tough to get going early in the period. It takes a little while to get the juices flowing again. When you got that power play, sometimes you're pressing just a little bit, not really warmed up, and Capitals really never got much mounted against Barrasso as the penalty expires on Hilliard.
Here comes Paul Coffey to start out of his own end. Leads it ahead now to Mario Lemieux. Dump back into the Washington zone, and Beaupre plays it into the corner. Sheehy's back after it. Off the boards for Sundstrom, gets it to center ice. Franceschetti at the blue line, tries to get past Bourque, and they both go to the backboards. Franceschetti still moving, gives the puck to Wickenheiser. Ties it up in the corner, and now Sundstrom tries to walk out with it. Sheehy keeps it inside the Pittsburgh zone. Here's Paul Coffey. Kevin Stevens across the line, and Sheehy works it all the way back inside the Penguin zone as both teams change up on the fly. Lead pass for Lemieux. Out to center ice. Kelly Miller to Mike Ridley. Here's Ridley to Miller across the blue line. Shifts in, gives it to Pavanka. Can't get the shot underway. Floats it right in front. Ridley has his shot blocked by Kevin Stevens. Pavanka to Ridley. Couldn't fire. Back to Pavanka. He shoots. Glove save Barrasso, and he holds on. Lots of pressure from the Washington Capitals, but Barrasso makes the difference on that sequence. There's a break in the action with a score. Capitals 3, Penguins 2.
TWA kept something in mind when we made our 747 business class seat the widest in the sky. People sometimes cross their legs. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. After all those meetings in Minneapolis and conventions in Kansas City, we think you could use a little change of pace. And after 40,000 miles in TWA's frequent flyer program, that's just what you get. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
Another Capitals flurry of activity around the Pittsburgh cage. Tom Barrasso finally comes up with a key stop as the loose puck is finally garnered by that man, Michael Pavanka, and snaps a hard wrist shot on. Ridley with a chance, can't really get anything underway as he's held up nicely by Cunnyworth, and there goes the shot from Pavanka, but the glove of Barrasso stops.
Here's Bobby Gould from the draw. Checked by Zalapski against the backboard. The puck played up the right wing, and here's McElwain to start out to center ice. Brings it ahead to Gordonine. Long drive wide of Beaupre. Now Ledyard up to Hunter. Courtnall can't find it. It's in his skates, but Hunter comes up and throws it all the way down. Courtnall in the corner. Over to Bobby Gould. He's toppled to the ice. The puck's underneath him. McElwain works it out. Throws to the point. Ledyard keeps it in. Grant Ledyard to Dale Hunter. Back to the point for Larry Murphy. His shot blocked. Courtnall keeps it in. Gives to Gould. Turns it around to Hunter. He's hooked on the play. Can't get it loose. Fires. And a save made by Barrasso. No penalty called as the Capitals had Courtnall stuffed right into the Pittsburgh net by Cunnyworth. Here's Larry Murphy back in his own zone. Out to Bobby Gould. At center ice. Courtnall and Dahlquist collide. The Penguins have it back. Phil Bourque into the Washington zone. Scott Stevens flips it back to Pittsburgh ice. Troy Loney leads it ahead to center. Jake Caulfield is out there now for the Penguins. He's in front and blows a great scoring opportunity as he couldn't control the puck. Now here's Scott Stevens, right side for Mike Gartner. Back inside the Pittsburgh zone, and Coffey tries to take it away. Gustafson walks in with help from Dave Christian. Penalty call coming up. It's against Pittsburgh. A holding penalty coming here at 5:14 of the third period. And Washington will have the man advantage on the power play as the Penguins are going to lose Dan Quinn.
Well, tomorrow night, the Bullets take on Adrian Dantley and the Dallas Mavericks here at the Capitol Center. Tickets are still available, and you can get yours by calling phone charge at 432-0200. Well, the Capitals keeping the pressure up, digging in the corners, working along the boards, and forcing the Penguins to upend people. And finally, they get it going their way to the Capitals as Dan Quinn is called for holding at 5:14.
Quinn's got some great numbers this year, Al, in scoring 29 goals, 50 assists, and 79 points. Here comes that penalty call, which gives him a total now on the season of 78 minutes in penalties. But one number that he is not impressing people with is his plus-minus. Quinn is the worst on the team for Pittsburgh at -29, and Gene Ubriaco recently sat him down. And he's not afraid to take any of these players, no matter if they are going to be a 30-goal scorer or not, pull them out of the lineup if they're not doing the job. And he felt that Quinn wasn't in some respects of his game. But he's in the box right now. Scott Stevens back to take it. Minute 45 to go. In the penalty call. Courtnall hustles into the corner, takes it behind the net, centers it. Oh, and Hunter fired right into Barrasso. Hillier and Hunter start to push and shove. Gartner was knocked down, and Gartner's upset. He wants to get back in there.
He wants to get at Hannon, who cross-checked him to the ice. You know, we saw earlier when Rod Langway was called for cross-checking Dan Quinn. Well, here's a pretty good example to me of exactly the same situation. Now watch it. Courtnall comes in there, sends it through that crease out there. Hunter comes in and will drill the shot. Quick one-timer. Barrasso gets it. Now watch Gardner coming into the play. Right there. Now Lemieux gets him in front side, and there he goes from behind as he is cross-checked to the ice by Hannon.
Caps get the draw. Here's Felix back to the left point. Scott Stevens a shot up high off the glass. Now Courtnall on the right wing. Teases Hannon, now fires. Barrasso makes the saves. Hunter digs it loose and gets flattened by Zalapski.
I don't think Barrasso ever had control of this, although if Don Koharski loses sight of the puck, he's got to blow the whistle, and I'm sure this is what happened because it looked like that shot from Courtnall came banging off the pads of Barrasso and up in the air where Hunter had a whack at it. So right there, you know, Barrasso's never really got control of it. But if you lose sight of it, if you're the referee, you've got to blow the whistle.
Draw comes back to Felix to the left point for Scott Stevens. Throws it in behind the net. Here's Courtnall. A minute 12 left on the Washington power play. Felix to Courtnall, one times it wide. Back to Scott Stevens. High shot. Barrasso, no problem to reach up and grab that one. He's so tall anyway.
See, Jeff Courtnall tonight certainly has come out firing. He continues to blast the puck. So far, 5 shots on goal for the game for Jeff Courtnall. He's the key to get the Capitals power play back on track. It's been a strength most of the season. It has cooled down a little bit. Gene Ubriaco's team has stopped the Capitals 4 times this evening on the power play. If the Capitals to be successful, the quick passing, and he's got to get those shooters free. Maybe more important, those shooters have got to be willing to take the shot. Courtnall's doing it tonight.
At the point, Ledyard a shot, and that one makes it through a crowd of skaters to Barrasso, who makes the catch.
All the way to the very back of the Capitol Center as it deflects and goes out of play. Here's another guy, Grant Ledyard. Big shot. He's starting to take a few more tonight. The draw is won by the Capitals. Gustafsson sends it back to Ledyard. He doesn't hesitate. Makes the move. You can see where that deflection comes out very high, but Ledyard, knowing he's got some traffic in front and with one of the best shots on the team, has got to keep putting it on there to be a factor on this Capitals power play.
A minute left in the penalty call to Quinn. He's in the box for holding. Stevens keeps it inside the Pittsburgh zone, and now Mike Ridley into the corner. Charlie Zalapski right on him. Finally, McElwain gets it and sends it all the way down the ice. Washington 3, Pittsburgh 2. 13:20 to play here in the third period. Penguins dump it right back in. Murphy out to Ridley. Right side to Gustafsson. Drop pass at the point. Here comes Ridley. A pass, a shot. Bounces just wide of the net. Great scoring opportunity for Christian. He knocked it down and toward the goal, but it just missed. Penalty about to expire. Time for one more rush. Here comes Stevens into the Pittsburgh zone and handles the puck too long at the blue line. Scott felt that he had taken it inside the zone and then not all the way back out across the line. But Pat DePuzzo will hear none of that. And the face-off will be in neutral ice.
Well, Davey Christian with a chance. I think this could prove to be the play of the game. Beautiful setup from Mike Ridley. We'll see if Barrasso, I think Barrasso gotten a piece of this thing. Yeah, I mean, that's just an unbelievable save. Look how quickly he gets over there, gets his body onto this shot. From that angle, looks like it may have been able to make his way wide if Barrasso doesn't get it. He still gets a piece of it. He still gets over there in time to do it.
Both clubs at full strength as Sundstrom shoots it back inside the Pittsburgh zone. Dahlquist plays it up the boards. Cunningworth flips it wide of the Washington net. Out of the zone all the way back into the Penguin net. Gord Dineen is back to play it. As Pittsburgh still down a goal. Franceschetti ties up Dineen. Now Dineen starts out. Chris Dahlquist sends it back into the Washington zone. Langway's there, and icing is the call. Well, the Capitals have doubled the output of the Pittsburgh Penguins in the shot department. 32-16 the totals right now. Let's check in downstairs with Jeff Rimmer.
Capitals can hang on to this lead. They can gain on the two clubs ahead of them. The New York Rangers continue to trail the New Jersey Devils tonight. In the third period, they trail by 4 goals. Tom Kurvers with a big night. He has 3 assists for the Devils tonight. Edmonton has scored 3 quick goals. They now lead Winnipeg by a score of 5-2. We've got college basketball for you. The college postseason begins tomorrow right here on Home Team Sports. 2 doubleheaders in the Colonial Athletic Association, 12-2, and then 7-9. A couple more games tomorrow evening. Our next Caps telecast next Saturday night. It's a sellout. If you don't have games or tickets for the Ranger game, we'll have it for you right here on Home Team Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 7 o'clock. Back upstairs.
Lemieux leans in to work the faceoff against Ridley. Starts out. Mary Lemieux on the right wing side. Tries to walk to the net. Langway holds him off, and the pass out stolen by Pavanka. Here's a 2-on-1 Washington break. 3-on-1 as Ridley trails. A deke, and Pavanka knocked down. The puck goes wide. The Penguins have no trouble clearing it, but Mike Ridley is hurt, and Koharski blows the whistle to stop play as Ridley is loosened the chin strap on his helmet and now looks to be in pain.
Ridley was a guy coming in from that left side trying to get in position to either take a pass or provide a screen for Pavanka. Pavanka holds it, holds it, holds it. Defenseman does a nice job of taking that passing option away. And finally, they get so far in front that the defenseman just shoves the other defenseman. I think it may have been Bork coming in there. Shoves Ridley into Pavanka. See how Barrasso plays it. Stands up, finally goes down a little bit.
Jock Callender hit him.
Callender, not Bork.
Looks like Ridley's all right as trainer Stan Wong makes his way back to the bench.
Maybe another case, Mike, where that face shield really comes in handy. Got a little more protection. You're crashing helmets with somebody.
Ridley's been the big scorer for the Capitals against the Penguins this year in 5 games played against Pittsburgh, 7, 4, and 11. And tonight already has 1 assist. He helped out on the Pavanka goal that is the difference right now. Here's a deep. Callender tries to get a shot off, and Beaupre makes the save. Now Sheehy into the corner. Moves it on back to the blue line. Hilliard to Bork in the corner. Shot right down the middle. Blocked by Beaupre. He smothers it. And Sheehy gets Callender out of there this time by giving him a good shove.
Well, this is really the first time all night this line of Hannon, Callender, and Lemieux have gotten really a lot of pressure on top of the Capitals goaltender Beaupre. But some great work by this man who's been outstanding all night. You know, Brian Murray, you talk about matchups on the forward lines. Well, Brian Murray always tries to get Langway and when Kevin Hatcher's healthy, Hatcher out there when Lemieux is on the ice. But tonight it's had to be Neil Sheehy, and he has done an outstanding job against Mario Lemieux. And watch him clear house here. Let this go a little farther, and I think we'll see a body flying, and that courtesy of Neil Sheehy.
Minutes, 59 seconds to go here in the third period. Capitals leading 3-2 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Bobby Gould leads it out to center ice, and now Ledyard has to help out. Tosses it back to the Penguin line, and Darley Zalapsky takes over for Pittsburgh. He displays the puck as he got caught by the forechecking of Courtnall. Gould in the corner digs it loose to Hunter. Back to Courtnall, and finally here comes Zalapsky. Sends it back inside the Washington zone. Kevin Stevens tries to center, and now Dale Hunter takes over for the Capitals. Out to Courtnall. Courtnall gets across the blue line. Into the corner. Hunter's there. Jams up on the play. Phil Bourque pokes it along to the point. It gets over to Murphy, and Larry Murphy chases it out to center. Still has control. Flips it ahead. Nice pass to Hunter. Hunter walking in, tries to center, but Bourque takes it away. Phil Bourque, long slap shot. Caught by Beaupre. Out to Sundstrom. Sundstrom hit with a hip check right at the blue line. Sundstrom hasn't gotten up, and he's spinning around and might have really banged up that right knee. Sundstrom hit with a hip check and really looks to be hurting now as he's lying, and his face tells the story. As you saw just a moment ago, he is hurting.
Well, it looks like Cunneyworth got him cleanly. I didn't see the leg of Randy Cunneyworth get out any knee to knee contact at initial view, and certainly looks like for that hip there. Got a little bit of the knee, it looked like, on that replay, but again, I thought the situation, I'm talking about Sundstrom's knee, getting him on the hip, and it looks like Cunneyworth is in legitimate position here.
Yeah,
we've seen Scott Stevens do it plenty of times to other people. That's a situation where, you know, it looks like a dirty play, but when you don't stick out that leg, the hip is very legal, and it looked like a very solid, clean check from Randy Cunneyworth.
No question, Al, it was a clean hit, but it's going to be the knee of Sundstrom that's paying the price here. And they're going to bring the stretcher out on the ice now, and you can just tell the way that he is breathing that he knows something is very, very seriously wrong.
Well, it's a shame because Peter Sundstrom has been playing his best hockey this season.
Got a good game tonight.
He's had an excellent game tonight. Over that road trip, we saw him taking the body more, getting a little more physically involved in the play. In this third line that the fourth line rather, that Brian Murray had put together tonight. Sundstrom, Franciscetti, and Wickenheiser have been a factor. Wickenheiser with a couple of assists and a big goal to tie the game up at 1-1 for Peter Sundstrom early in the second period.
Well, they're going to take great care now in removing Peter Sundstrom from the ice. As they'll have to lift him onto that stretcher and then be able to take him out. We'll watch it one more time and watch the skates of the checker on the play. No leg really stuck out there, no intent to go flying through the air and hit the guy.
And now they're not taking Sundstrom off on the stretcher, which is a very good sign.
Oh, he's standing up.
That's excellent news for the Capitals, and making his way apparently to the locker room under his own steam, and actually just kind of shaking it off, and looks to be pretty good. I mean, he's not being helped off by anybody. He'll probably go back with Dr. Rich Grossman for observation, but very good sign for the Capitals and Peter Sundstrom, who gets a nice ovation from this crowd. They've appreciated the effort shown tonight and recently. Well, if you'd like to get out here for playoff action coming up in the spring, the only real good way to do it, to guarantee yourself seats now, is to get season tickets or partial plans set for next year. Give CAP sales reps a call on Monday at area code 301-386-7000. If you put down a deposit for season tickets or partial plans for next year, you'll be able to get your tickets for the playoffs this season. That's 386-7000 on Monday for Capital sales reps.
Well, I'm glad he's all right, but when he hit the ice, it looked like it was season over, didn't it? It looked like he was really hurt. I'm sure felt a lot of pain.
You can think about a few years ago when it happened to Bengt Gustafsson with Dennis Potvin nailing him. That time Potvin stuck the knee out and caught Gustafsson, broke the leg, and drove Gustafsson out of the playoffs.
Here's an icing call as Dineen is back to the touch, and the faceoff reverts to the Washington zone with 9:20 to go here in the third period. And the Caps holding a 3-2 lead.
The Capitals will continue to push the attack. They're not laying back, but they're not getting anything else by Barrasso right now. And here's the dangerous part. With Coffey, Lemieux, people like that still on the ice, you've only got the one-goal lead. To the Capitals' credit, we said they haven't been hanging back, which has been a problem once they've taken leads of any sort. They're still pushing, still using their skating speed, getting on top of the Pittsburgh defense. An excellent job of forechecking and creating those turnovers most of the night.
Happy birthday, Kelly Miller. 26 years old today. Tonight, number 300 in the NHL. Ask his brother Kip who Bob Asensa is. He'll tell you.
Michigan State goaltender.
He's in the net tonight for Winnipeg. They've got a tight one going with the Oilers at Winnipeg, Manitoba. Jeff Rimmer will have all the out-of-town scores for us on the post-game show. Here's Mike Ridley. Walks in front, gets a shot off, but it goes just wide. Now picked up by Jock Callender. He leads it out to center ice, and Langway takes over. Here's Rod Langway. Passes ahead to Pavonka. Back inside the Pittsburgh zone. Work to take it. Up to Lemieux. Up to inside for Kevin Stevens. Charges to the net. He gives him a slash, and Stevens holds his stick. Cullen throws it behind the goal for Lemieux. He's back after him. Ties him up. Scott Stevens tries to move it along. And now Gustafsson steals the pass and starts out. Gustafsson to Christian. A shot. And a goal! Dave Christian breaks it open to make it 4-2 Washington.
Cap stop Lemieux at one end, and watch this bouncing, dribbling puck. Christian gets a couple whacks at it and finally directs it past Barrasso. That's diligence and excellent puck handling ability. Gustafsson starts the play, the transition of the Capitals, moving up ice, holds it, gets it in there, tips it ahead to Christian, and now watch. It's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing. While it's on its edge, Christian directs it past Barrasso, who again, as you see, he's down. Out of position just a little bit. Not standing up real strong. Capitals with a huge two-goal lead right now. Let's see if they can finish this two-goal lead off.
Time of the goal, 11:56. Gustafsson assisting on Christian's 28th of the year. Here's Hunter. Taken away, and McElwain starts back now for the Penguins. Dumps it back inside the Washington zone. Kevin Stevens jammed up by Larry Murphy. And Dale Hunter starts off the board and puts it back to the Penguin line. 7.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Capitals lead 4-2. Grant Ledyard out to center ice, and Zalapsky takes over. Now Lemieux has the puck across the line, but Pennyworth's already in the zone, so Pittsburgh is offside.
Now we see some change-up, double shifting a lot for this man. He'd been out there most of the night with Callender and Hannon. Now Lemieux is out there with Pennyworth and Quinn. The two remaining big goal scorers out there, along with Barry Lemieux, is Gene Briakis tries to put a super line together, get his top 3 forward goal scorers available to him tonight in action and get back into this game. They're down 4-2, 7:14 left.
Here's Murphy. Ahead to Mike Ridley. Across the line to Kelly Miller. Miller works right in front of the net, has it blocked. Murphy in, fires. That might have struck Barrasso right in the face mask, but he made the save. Lead pass, Lemieux's onside. He fires in front, Bork shoots, save made by Beaupre. And the Capitals clear it out. Scott Stevens getting the job done. The blue line. Here's Lemieux again, but Pittsburgh is offside.
Oh, you talked a lot about Tom Barrasso. How about the play from Don Beaupre? Keeping his side up on top by 2 as the Capitals trying to get a 5th goal. Larry Murphy coming in. They've got Lemieux out there. Lemieux swings it over in front, and watch the sprawling save, robbing Phil Bork. Outstanding play. Stevens challenges Lemieux. Look at Lemieux's ability to just bounce that puck in front. Bork puts it down again. It's a bouncy puck. He probably doesn't have as much control of it as he'd like, but take nothing away from the save of that man.
Don Beaupre, lifetime against the Penguins in 7 games, 1 win and 6 losses, and a 3.60 goals against average. He'd like to prove something to the Penguins, having only beaten them 1 other time in his career, all with Minnesota. Right now he's got a 2-goal lead. Here comes Gord Dineen cutting in. Mike Gartner has it taken away, and now Callender overskates the puck. It comes back to the Pittsburgh line. After seeing 2 goals scored against them inside the last minute of play the other night against Minnesota, the Capitals won't consider this one in the bag until they hear that final horn is offside.
That's why it's such an interesting dilemma, Mike. I mean, the notion that you want to play smart, you want to play responsible. Where's the gamble? At what point does it become an aggressive play, and at what point does it become a gamble? I think that last exchange, a perfect example. Larry Murphy trying to push the attack, trying to get that goal. Saw he had a chance to sneak in there, get an opportunity. Did get a good scoring opportunity. Chris Dalkos now is taken off the ice for the Penguins. He ripped a drive that goes off the mask of Barrasso. But because you've got Lemieux and Coffey and some guys like that out there, the Penguins able to come back and get a great scoring opportunity, and only Don Beaupre stopped it. It's kind of an interesting thing for the Capitals. How do you walk that fine line between gambling and just smart, aggressive hockey with a 2-goal lead?
Centering pass wide to the corner, and Coffey fires to the side of the net. Now Dave Christian starts back for Washington. He's got Bobby Gould on the right wing. 2-on-2 break. Christian to the corner, gives it to Gould, takes it behind the net, tries to wrap it around. It's in Barrasso's skates, but he's kept it outside the line and manages to scoop it up.
Well, some pretty nice footwork there by the big goaltender as Bobby Gould just swept it in front, trying to pinball it off Barrasso. But watch it here as Gould comes in, he just sweeps it down there with the feet, hoping to have it deflect off the skates, and it almost works. It's down there. Barrasso knows he's got it. He's got to hold on, which he does have some help from Paul Coffey. Bobby Gould given some pretty good duty tonight. He's been out there with some pretty good line with Hunter and Portnoy as his line mates.
Face off to the left of Barrasso. Barrasso 7-3-2 in his career against Washington. A 2.67 average. Here comes Quinn, taken out by Langway. He'll get a penalty for it.
Boy, I don't know about this.
Rod looked like he really held him off, and I thought he was going to get away without one, but Don Koharski signals Langway to the box. That means power play hockey for Pittsburgh. There's a break in the action with a score. Capitals 4, Penguins 2.
think they have the most beautiful produce sections of any stores in the area. I know that. Safeway's produce department reminds me of those country fairs we used to have at home where the farmers all brought their fresh produce in and they cleaned them with the garden hoses and had them on the little crates and stacked it. Everything looked so fresh and beautiful that you always wanted to pick everything you could and take it home with you. That's what it looks like.
Update on Peter Sundstrom, a hyperextended right knee. He'll not be back tonight. Hopefully, he'll return on Sunday against Vancouver. Let's go back upstairs. All right, thanks, Jeff. Langley in the box for hooking. 14:47, the time of the call.
Looks 10 years younger without that mustache, doesn't he?
Yes, that's the idea.
Gustafson out there for Washington, along with Christian, Sheehy, and Stevens. Pittsburgh gets the draw. Here's Lemieux. He's on with Quinn and Cunneyworth. Centering pass wide to the goal mouth. Cunneyworth chases it to the backboards. Now brings it over to Mario Lemieux. Centering pass right in front. Stevens knocks it down with a glove and clears it all the way down the ice. Lead pass gets away from Quinn, goes wide of the net. This will be icing against Pittsburgh. And the face-off reverts to the Penguin zone.
And the 1:27 left in the Langley call. You know, that call on Langley, it's again, we come back. Neil Sheehy kept the puck in, took a couple steps in, and drilled a shot that deflected wide, but he couldn't get back out of the zone in time, and that allowed Quinn that room to get the partial breakaway. Langley had to catch up with him and ultimately hook him. There's that situation again between pushing the attack and seeing if you're gambling backfires on you. So far, the Capitals looking okay. 4-2 lead, 4:40 left, although the Pittsburgh power play, second best in the NHL, on the attack now.
Here's Zalapski. Trying to find Coffey, but Miller steals. He's got Gould in front and had to put the pass about waist high. The Penguins come back. Coffey inside the zone. Flips it toward the net. Stevens reaches for it, but Beaupre grabs it with 1:05 left in the Langley penalty.
This deflects a little bit off the glove of Scott Stevens, I think, and Don Beaupre sharp to cover up. Take a look at it. Coffey holding it, and now he just flip it up in the air. Stevens grabs it, and I think just deflects it a little bit. He grabs for it. Beaupre's got it. It's a dangerous situation for those goaltenders. They'd like to just handle everything themselves.
Don Beaupre came up with a victory in Los Angeles in his first start as a member of the Washington Capitals. Took the loss against Minnesota the other night, but played well. Tonight, he's right on. The Capitals lead the Penguins 4-2. Here's Coffey, a drive. Look at that stop. It's a dandy, and Cunneyworth kept out of there by Sheehy. There's that same sliding motion, and I think he just got that one right between the two leathers.
This has always been his style. Capitals goaltender coach Warren Strelo has been wanting him to kind of stand up more, but in these situations, when you got traffic in front of you, you almost have no alternative. You got to try and get down and cover up as much as possible. A dangerous man at the point, Coffey with the drive, and he sees traffic closing in, and that's where Beaupre's got to go. He's got to swing out there, got to slide down and stack those pads. Now Don Koharski refusing to allow Kevin Stevens out on the ice. As Gene Ubriaco wanted to get him out there to try and get a little more muscle up front. If Quinn can win this draw, he wanted Stevens to start crashing that net. It remains Quinn, Cunneyworth, Bourque, Coffey. Now Lemieux is all the way back here on the left point.
Right away, Sheehy clears it all the way down.
Nice job done by Doug Wickenheiser to win that key draw.
Lemieux ready to start out. The Pittsburgh captain leads it to Cunneyworth at the blue line. Scott Stevens gets a stick on it. Now Bourque in the corner behind the net for Quinn. Cleared by Sheehy to the point. Coffey keeps it in. Slap shot by Bourque. Quinn turns it around, can't get the drive underway, and Wickenheiser manages to bounce it outside the line. Only 10 seconds left now in the Langway penalty. 3:20 to go here in the third period. Langway's back. Capitals at full strength, and Sheehy clears it out of the zone. Zalapsky back to center ice. Ridley takes over now for Washington to Michael Pavanka. Pavanka checking the play as Coffey roughs him up, holding him down. Now Loney throws it into the Capital zone. Kevin Stevens to the corner. Here's Pavanka across the line. Gives to Ridley. Over to Pavanka. Tries to go back to Mike Ridley and can't get away from Gordonine. Zalapsky takes the puck. 2:25 to go, third period. 2-goal lead for the Capitals. Here's Ledyard. Over to Larry Murphy. Right wing side to Bobby Gould. Gould flips it all the way down the ice. Gustafson gets in there, gets involved with Coffey. There's going to be an interference penalty, and now Gustafson gets the squeeze from Paul Coffey.
Well, Mike Gardner's really angry. He's trying to dig in there, possibly at Mary Lemieux. In comes Langway. This penalty is going to be to Barrasso, and this is not a smart move. You're down by 2 goals. I know you want to do something to try and slow down the Capital forechecking, but at this point, such an obvious play, it's going to take your team out of the game, basically. Capitals will have power play hockey for almost the entire rest of this game with 2:04 left. Such a flagrant shove of Ben Gustafson. Now watch, Gustafson's coming in. He's got a good head of steam. Look at Barrasso. What does he think's going to get called?
Well, he thinks he's going to stand his ground there and see if he can draw something on Gustafson.
That's fine. Stand your ground, but then when you shove your arms out there like that, that's crazy. I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to stand there and make it difficult to get around you, or as you say, almost like draw like a charging foul in basketball, but when you shove your stick and your arms out there, that's so flagrant, it's going to have to get called. Take another isolated look. Again, if you stand your ground, that's fine, but now watch what he does. Gets that elbow out, pushes the arms out.
Penalty will be served by number 14, Jock Gallagher.
Got a lot to learn. He should be watching the former Bullet star and now current coach Wes Unseld was a master at that, those sort of things, setting those picks. Ricky Mahorn, they know how to do it and take a piece of you without getting the call.
They could teach him that move.
Yeah. Well, now the Caps with the opportunity to completely close this game out. Power play hockey. With a 2-goal lead. Caps power play yet to click tonight, but I guess maybe the most important thing, they've kept the Penguins off the board, including the most recent penalty. But Pittsburgh just got very little going. Well, they did get one terrific play and an excellent stop from Don Beauclair.
Inside the Washington zone, Gustafson gets a stick on it. Now here's Christian down the right wing. Back to the point for Chris Felix. In the corner, Mike Ridley tosses it for Christian at the point, but it gets outside the line, and Dan Quinn takes over. Short-handed, here's Zalapsky into the Washington zone. Chris Felix holds him up. Ridley along to make the play. Ridley outside the line and gets to center. Ridley taking his time and can well afford to do so. Capitals don't really care that they're on the power play. They just want to make Pittsburgh do the work and let them chase the puck. Here's Hunter. We're in the final minute of play in the period. At the blue line, Scott Stevens carries it in onside. Courtnall a backhander. Barrasso the save. And Stevens takes another poke at it as Barrasso has frozen the puck. with 53 seconds to go in the period, 49 seconds to go in the goaltender's penalty, which is being served by Jock Callender.
All things considered, Tom Barrasso's played an outstanding game tonight. He's faced 36 Washington shots. He made the mistake there in that interference call, but other than that, you really can't find fault in much work in much of the performance tonight from Tom Barrasso, and you can see why the Penguins feel so confident now when they get into the playoffs. Now they feel they've got the key goaltender, the guy who can win them some hockey games.
Here's Larry Murphy. Feeds it over to Garten. Has it taken away, and the Penguins come back. Hannon works the center ice. Poke check by Murphy. Coffey throws it across the line and cross-checks Dale Hunter in the face. And now Hunter comes back at Coffey. Everybody's going to jump in. Hunter trying to throw some punches at Coffey, but Hunter's already received the worst of the incident as Coffey cross-checked him right in the face in front of the Washington bench. There had been some contact between the two. As they came together, Coffey stood him up, then turned around and just gave him the stick right in the mouth. And that's what started it all. And they'll take Coffey back to his dressing room, and Hunter's telling him now there's still one more meeting left between the two clubs, and that'll be at Pittsburgh. Of course, I think both organizations feel that they're destined to meet in the playoffs.
Let's take a look at it. You see Paul Coffey and Hunter colliding, just shoulder bumping, and there's that shot to the face from Coffey. Yeah, Hunter's not about to let that get away. Look at Gordy Brosiker. Boy, that's a brave man, Gordy Brosiker. And I would say also here, number 15, Cunningworth, ought to be out of here for a third man in.
For Pittsburgh, number 77, Paul Coffey. 2 minutes for roughing, 5 minutes for roughing, and a game misconduct. Correction on the penalty. The 5-minute penalty is for high sticking. Washington penalty called on number 32, Dale Hunter. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the calls, 19:28.
Well, think about it. Even though Pittsburgh won the first 4 meetings, Washington won the next one 8-0. They hold on here to win this one. They've won the next 2. Now you go into Pittsburgh and play a good game there and do the job there. And I think even if you come out of that contest with any kind of points at all, or at least hold face, I think you're in a pretty good frame of mind going into the playoffs should these two teams meet.
Certainly would agree with that, Mike. And it's big for the Capitals to do a defensive job again tonight. Knew Pittsburgh could be fired up for a little bit of revenge. They kept things close, out shooting Pittsburgh 36-21 at this point. Strong defensive effort. By the way, that game at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, you'll be able to see that on WDCA TV 20. There's 32 seconds left to go now, and it's 5-on-3 hockey. Chance for the Capitals to get a power play goal here and finish off the night in style.
Only 27 seconds left in this one. Langway to Stevens. Capitals are just going to take their time. They're really in the driver's seat here with a 2-goal lead and a 2-man advantage. Stevens just rags it out to center ice. He'll turn around and totally dominate the Penguins by bringing it back into his own zone. And that's really letting him have it. There's the end of the game. The Washington Capitals win their second game in a row against the Pittsburgh Penguins after losing the first 4 of the series. This one decided by a score of 4-2. Shots on goal in the third period. Pittsburgh had 5, a game total of 21. And Washington with 11, a game total of 36. Dave Christian had the only goal scored in the third period, his 28th of the season. Now, here's Jeff Rimmer.
Rod Langway, team captain with us. Rod, just a big win, a tremendous team effort tonight.
We played well. I think I'll tell Nick with a big key of the win, and
I think, you know, both we played extremely well against us tonight, but we got to, you know, stop giving up the breakaways in a 2-on-1.
Everybody will still talk